Okay, welcome to my Blog Talk Radio program, Eternal Connection. My name is Daniel Feint, and I am going to attempt to take myself and anybody listening on an adventure. Basically, I will use vocabulary words and metaphysical or philosophical concepts to go with the idea that just even while sitting someplace and not moving through the space-time continuum any other way than we actually are, because the Earth is rotating and spinning as we sit or are in one place. It's kind of like the idea of sitting in a car that's going 60 miles an hour down the freeway. It's a matter of deciding if we're moving or if we're not. And if it's dynamic or interacting, or if it's just the way that it is. So basically, I would like to try to get creative, try to tell a story and just record this, pre-record it, and broadcast it. I don't know the show title yet, but I'll try my best to climb the mountain or the roller coaster as it goes all the way up to the top, and you go wee down the first hill, and we're off into a visualization of what's going on in my mind or what's going on in your mind. You can look around the room, and there's all kinds of things going on. Scientifically, there is the particles or molecules that are structured and that construct your outside reality. Basically, this can be boiled down into frequencies or light waves or electrons, many different ways to look at what is around us that is constantly changing and or constant. Because maybe the only constant is change. So, moving on from this, I feel that if I was to say, with the snap of a finger, I can transcend what just was, and I am now in a new reality. I have slipped through the portal and traveled down as my body is all electrons, or massive amount of space. And what is made up through my DNA is now traveling through a wormhole into the other side of the universe, or an alternate reality which just arrived now. Basically, I'm still sitting here, and my mind is telling what my mouth and my words and the sounds of my voice in the English language, as I've learned to interpret what the thought is that is changing form with each word. It reforms like clay being molded, or Play-Doh that is now a dinosaur. So you could think that if I thought of a dinosaur, it could be the skeleton of the dinosaur, a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a Velociraptor. We'll go with the idea of bones because it's Halloween and there's all kinds of things like that. And the idea that I don't want to end up at a dead end, but because I thought of a dead end and I'm resisting it, that there's a possibility of the dead end leading to a way to turn around and go back if I want to. It could be a cause and effect. Or I could put my glasses on to see that actually the dead end isn't there. The glasses is a metaphor of saying to awaken to the idea that there's infinite possibilities and there really are no dead ends. Dead end is sort of like a sound and a word that's associated with a visualization. So basically, as I continue through this, and if you're listening, which I guess you are because you're hearing this, and I'm hearing a car in the background revving and going down Main Street. Let's see. We could think about the type of ways that I could be telling the truth, or I could be lying. I'm not lying down on the ground. I'm sitting in a chair. It's not very rare. There's 3 others for a total of 4, and that happens 24 hours a week, 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year, and 10 years in a decade, and 100 years in a century. If I was to think that we just projected into and between a millisecond of time, where it was a moment, and this moment is moving through to the idea that you could divide it as far as the entire length of this broadcast into the space between each words, which makes this tangible or understandable. I haven't said any kind of word that isn't understandable. I know that I'm going in many directions, and it's linear in the way that I'm traveling through these words, but I just wanted to try an abstract way of being creative to record this and broadcast this. If I was to say that gravity is a friend of mine, and that the spirit of all things moves through me unless I block it like a dam or a water dam that doesn't allow it to come through because I feel that I'm doing this on my own, then that's when I get resistance or friction, like the idea of physics where you move a block along a smooth surface. We could say that I'm roughly going along in a smooth way because I haven't said anything or done anything other than just sitting here and talking about different things. I hope you find this to be entertaining, maybe annoying. You may have already turned it off and I'm just talking now, but you could think of the idea that there's an energy pattern, there's a formula, there's a sequence of algorithms, or what is thought of as a matrix of holographic projected illusions that are made up in this reality. As I go down the vocabulary that I know to try to describe what I've been studying, what I've been observing, what I've been learning about, what I'm trying to teach people about, because I want to know more about it and I want to understand it myself. I don't want to think that this recording is about me trying to be creative. I want to think that it's sharing concepts of what is natural part of life, what we all experience, or at least anybody that's in some way connected to this recording, which could be everybody from the past, present, and future, or it could just be the handful of people that possibly are listening to this besides myself. I could say that there are different ways of going about changing things. Nature is interesting. I don't know if fire is an interesting way of nature converting things from its original construct to ash. The idea of ashes to ashes and dust to dust goes to the possibility of significant change, or something being there and then it not being there. I want to believe that consciousness is always with me. No matter where I go, there I am. That I'm in the present moment and I'm still sitting here in my chair, just traveling through this recording. I would like to think that I'm looking at my keyboard. There's many different characters. You could think of the characters of the keyboard as different pieces of artwork, yet when they associate with a command, like to launch a computer program, then if you take the action to press the button, it'll have an effect as easy as just the letter Q. Pressing the letter Q into a software program will have an effect of displaying the Q on the computer screen. So it also applies metaphorically, or actually more tangibly, to what I want to do in life and how I could go about achieving that. If I want a cup of coffee and I have coffee grounds and I have a coffee filter and a coffee maker and water, then I have all the ingredients and I just need to take the action to brew a pot of coffee and then to be able to enjoy a cup of coffee. If I need to gather the ingredients, and this metaphor could be applied to any kind of accomplishment or experience that somebody wants to bring into form. You may have things in your life that you want to achieve. For example, I wanted to record this and have another radio broadcast, so I pressed the recording button and I just started talking, and I should have a final audio segment or an audio clip, an audio file that I can broadcast. So basically, if we gather the ingredients, it could be anything you can think of, there's a possibility of gathering it. Depends how important it is to you to gather it, what the ingredients would do, and I don't know if I should get into the idea of that maybe there are some constrictions in this time-space reality. The idea of karma in an economic sense would say, if I haven't been using my interaction with money in a way for the past 10 years that was, however I interacted with money in the present moment, is sort of here now. If I got credit cards and spent a lot of money on credit cards, I would have a lot of debt. If I took out loans, I would have debt. If I had more income than I was coming in with an income than I was spending, then that would be accumulating for the past 10 years, and I would have a lot more money than if I was spending money that I didn't have on credit cards. So in this aspect, it brings us to the present moment about financially, which is a good example of the energy system of money and how karmically that has an effect on now. So that can be applied to many different aspects of life by the decisions and the interactions we have with the energy of life. So I guess this is about it. I'm going to wrap it up and say thank you for listening and have a great day. I'll try to broadcast another one in about a week. Take care.